OSAS. In today's episode, we are going to squash a couple of bugs that we've introduced into our app over the last couple of episodes. And the last episode, we were able to roll in our pagination logic, which is pretty awesome. But something that we discovered is that, we are actually not listening to the latest messages inside of our channel. So right now we're able to paginate for historical messages. But if we send a new message into our channel, for example, let's go right ahead and hit send. As you can see, we're actually not getting that latest message. We actually wrote the method that is going to be responsible for that in the last episode, but there was a couple of bugs that was causing the messages to duplicate. So we're going to be going ahead and fixing that today. Something else that I also want to bring our attention to is there is a bug that is related to our channel, direct channel uniqueness. So for example, let's say we go ahead and create a direct channel with QA user 11, right? And let's say we send first message, hit that send button, which is great. As you can see, we're not actually getting the latest message because that's currently broken. But if we go back into the channel, we have our first message, right? Let's try to create another direct channel with this QA user 11 again. If we try to select QA user 11 from our chat partner picker screen, it's going to take us back to that older channel that we already created, which is great. That's the requirements that we set for our direct channels. However, there is actually a bug when we go into our new group setup screen. So let's say we select QA user 11 and we go in here. Let's say we click create a new direct channel. Well, it should be a direct channel, right? Because it's just one participant. If we go ahead and create a direct channel with this bad boy, look at that. It gives us a duplicate channel. And that's obviously an issue because that does not meet the requirement that we have set for ourselves at the beginning of this episode. So we're going to be fixing that today. There's also a couple of bugs that's related to sending messages. So let's say, for example, we go ahead and enter a message inside of our text field. And let's say we select, for example, a photo or a video. It doesn't really matter. Let's just select a bunch of media items. When we hit that send button, we would expect this text message to only be attached to one of these media items, like perhaps this first one right here. But what's going to happen is it's actually going to attach that media item to each one of our individual media message. And so let's go out of QA user 11. Let's go back inside of it. And as you can see, it appends that a message, and a message here. And that's obviously not the desired outcome that we want, as we have seen in the completed version of our project. It's only actually supposed to belong to one of these messages. There's also one final bug that I want to bring our attention to, which is related to audio message. So if we send an audio message, we record an audio message, and we add a text message to the audio message, it's actually not going to append the text message to the audio message. So as you can see, there's a couple of bugs that we do need to fix, and that is the plan for today's episode. We're going to go right ahead and fix all these irregularities so our application is back on track. So let us jump right into Xcode, roll up our sleeves, and get right to business. So I'm going to go right ahead and jump into our chat room view model, Command Shift and O, chat room, view model, and let's go look for our get latest messages function. So we have this get latest or get listen for new messages method. I think that's what we call it right here. That is responsible for getting the latest messages. Let us uncomment this. Let us run our project on the simulator and let us actually see what's going to happen. Because again, all we're doing here is we're checking if this is the current page is nil, which means, for example, when we go into fantasy football for the first time, the current page is going to be nil. If that is the case, we're getting the first message and we're saying, okay, listen for new messages, right? And let's see. Let us scroll up and let's see what's going to happen. We noticed this in the last episode, and as you can see, we're starting to have something finicky going on here. And we have, for example, this is the first message, and it really shouldn't be showing the first message here. And we're having a bunch of duplicate message. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on, but let's go right ahead and figure that out. Let's jump into our listen to new messages. So inside of our message service, let's command and jump into this listen for new messages method. Let us go and examine this. So what is this doing? This is Firebase constants using the channel ID. It's observing. Oh, I think I know what's going on, guys. So for the listen for new messages method, all we actually want to do is we only want to listen to the last one or to the latest one. So we want to limit it to last one. So right now, without this limit, it's actually just getting every single message inside of our backend. So like, for example, let's say we go into this channel, or inside of a channel message node, let's say we jump into this massive node. Without that, without that query limited to one, which is like, let's say it's limiting it to the last one that just came in, it's actually going to go and fetch every single message that belongs to this channel. And that's not obviously what we want. So let us go ahead and have this query limited to last parameter here, or method. Let's go ahead and run our project now, and let us test it to make sure we are actually able to get our latest messages inside of our channel. So I'm going to jump into the channel tab. Let me go to fantasy football, and look at that. We don't have that duplication yet. So let's scroll up. We'll pull down. Ooh, pagination seems to be working, and that's it. Awesome. Okay, let's go try another big channel, something like QA user 27 and these other guys. So we have a duplicate here, but we're going to fix that really quickly. Let us scroll up and make sure pagination is working. Pagination seems to be working. Pagination seems to be working. How about we send a text message and let's see what happens if we get it here. I'm just going to say text message, hit that send button, and look at that, we get that text message. What if we use another simulator to actually send a message to this channel? Let's make sure we're actually able to get that message. So this is the same channel. I'm just going to send, like, for example, a simple photo message. I'm just going to say, what's up? And hit that send button. Let's see what happens if we get it. Oh, that's awesome. So that means our get latest message method is working. Would it still work if we try it again? Test, hit that send button. That is awesome. We're actually getting that. Let's send a new one here. Send here. hit that send button, and we're able to get it. So that is awesome, guys. That means we've fixed our latest messages bug. And the next thing on our agenda right now is to go ahead and actually fix our, channel uniqueness. The issue with our channel not actually being unique when we're creating it from this, group channel setup screen. And so here's what I mean. When we jump into this picker, if we go to new group, so let's see, who do we have a direct channel with right now? We have a direct channel with QA user 11. Let's say we jump into here, we go to new group, we go to QA user 11, and when we hit next and we hit create, look at that. It creates a new direct channel. It shouldn't be doing that, right? Because we already have QA user 11 as a direct channel here. So we're going to go right ahead and fix that pretty quickly. So to fix that, we need to go into our chat partner picker view model. And I'm just going to Command Shift and O, and I'm going to jump into our chat partner picker view model. And inside of our chat partner picker view model, or actually, you know what? Not even our chat partner picker view model. We need to go to this screen. Hold on, guys. We need to go into this new group screen. So not here, but here. We need to go into this new group screen here. But actually, now that we're inside of our chat partner picker view model, I'm going to go right ahead and increase the page size for our fetch users method from 5. Let's increase it to 12. Now, the reason I'm doing that is because I just noticed there's some sort of a duplication here. And I think that page size issue, the reason is because we're fetching 5, and we need to fetch something like 10 or 12 so we can properly paginate our user items. So let's jump into this new group setup screen, and I'm just going to go into our channels folder just because I don't remember what that screen was called. I think it's called new group setup screen. Actually, that's what it was called. So this is what's responsible for creating a direct channel from here, or a group channel, right? And it works well for group channels because if I select 2 groups and I go ahead and hit that next button and I call this groups the boys, hit create, it works fine. There's also something going on here. This is firing 2 duplicate right now. And I think I know why, guys. So the reason this is showing a duplicate right now is because, so our listen for channel messages, let's actually go ahead and fix it really quickly. So inside of our chat room view model, think about it. This listen for new channel is actually getting the last message in our channel, while the historical message is also going to get the last channel when you go into a channel for the first time. So for example, when I'm going to a channel for the first time, this get historical message inside of our message service is also going to get the last message. And this listen for new messages is also going to get that last item. So we need to find a way to filter out that duplicate. And here's what I mean. Let me even show you here. For example, we have send here, send here. Let's say we send a new message now. This new message is no longer going to be a duplicate because remember, get historical message is only observing a single event. It's not a listener. It's not an active listener. So if we send, look at that. It's not duplicating, but this 2 are duplicating. So I'm going to fix that really quickly by jumping into our get historical messages method. And let us go right ahead and actually just add some sort of a filter in here that prevents us from fetching the last item. And here's what I mean. So I'm going to say if the last cursor is equals to nil, which is usually the case, right? When we go into this chat room for the first time, our last cursor is actually going to be nil. So if that last cursor is nil, we need to remove the last item inside of our get historical messages. So we're inside of our message service. Let me zoom out of this just a little bit. And what do we want to do? So right here, right where we're doing our filtered messages here, I'm just going to say if last cursor is equals to nil, which means we're doing our initial fetch, then I'm just going to say messages.remove last, not remove all, remove last. And let's go right ahead and run our function, run our app on the simulator, and that should fix our issue. Jump into our channel tab screen, go here. Look at that, guys, no duplicates, awesome. And let us create a new channel, for example. So we already have a channel with QA user 11. Let us demonstrate that duplication again. Let's say, for example, we try to create a new channel with QA user 11 from here. You're going to notice there's no duplicates. It's going to take us to the existing one because if we go out of here, you see it doesn't create a new channel. What about something with like QA user 5? If we go QA user 5, let's look for QA user 5. Let's say we create a channel. Look at that. It takes us to the existing channel, which is exactly the contract that we're expecting. But if we go into this new group channel and we try to create a new channel with QA user 5, we go next and we click create channel. Look at that. It creates a new channel for us. So that's obviously problematic. But we did fix our duplication issue. If you guys paid attention, and let's just try that. No more duplicates, which is great. Okay, let's go ahead and fix the non-uniqueness of our direct channel. And the solution to that is where we were at before we jumped into this remove last logic, is inside of this new group setup screen. So this view model that creates group channel method is what's responsible for this new group. When we go new group, we select a bunch of users. When we click this create button right here, this is the closure that is fired. And we're calling the create group channel button, or calling the create group channel method inside of our chat partner picker view model. And it's not always going to be a group channel, as we've seen, because we really should be able to create a direct channel from here as well. So if I click QA user 23 from here, I should be able to create a direct channel here. So I'm going to go right ahead and fix that. And I think a very easy solution for us to do is let's just use our if. I'm just going to say if our view model .is direct channel. Remember, we have this is direct channel method or computed property inside of our view model, and it's yelling at us. It says it's private. Let's jump into that. I'm going to command and click into that direct channel, and I'm going to make this a publicly accessible. Indent it. Jump back to our new group setup screen. So I'm going to say if it is a direct channel, all I want to do is just say view model .create direct channel, and it's going to ask for a chat partner. Let's go right ahead and grab the first element inside of our selected, chat partner. So I'm going to say chat partner is equal to our selected chat partners, or actually our view model view model.selected chart partners.first, else return, right? And we're going to pass that in as our first parameter. For the onComplete, we're going to fire our onCreate closure that we have up here, if you guys remember, when we were creating the channels. So now, if it's not a direct channel, all I'm going to do is I'm going to call viewModel.create group channel. And again, this is direct channel computer property. Is just checking if the selected chart partners count is greater than 1, or if it's equals to 1. If we jump into it, yep, it's saying if the selected chart partner count is 1, that means it's a direct channel, which is exactly what we want. So let us jump out of here and let us go right ahead, run our project, and that should fix that issue with our, direct channel not being unique. So let's wait for this to boot up. Let us jump to our simulator. Let's go to let's create a new channel with like QA user 5 again. Let me send a message. Actually, let's look for another. Yeah, we have QA user 3 here. Okay, so that's awesome. Let us try to create another channel with QA user 3. This time around, let's try to create it from this new group setup screen. So let's go look for QA user 3 really quickly. Let's scroll down. We have QA user 3. Let's hit that next button. Let's hit that create button. Oh, weird. That's interesting. Okay, what's going on here, guys? So there seems to be some sort of a bug, and we are going to fix that really quickly. So let's jump into our simulator, into our Xcode project. Let us command and jump into this direct channel method inside of our chart partner picker view model. Let's see what's going on here. You know what? Let's hide a print statement. Actually, I think I know why, but I'm going to hide a print statement just so you guys could see what's really going on. It's always a good idea to have print statement to really determine what's actually going on inside of your, logic. So I'm just going to put this print statement here, and I'm just going to say view model, this is direct channel. And we know if we're creating a direct channel, if we only select one chart partner, it should be a direct channel. And this should return true, but you're going to notice it's actually going to return false. So I'm going to paste this here so we can filter for it. New group, let's do QA user 3 again. Let's just scroll all the way down here, QA user 3, hit that next button, hit create. Look at that, it's saying this direct channel is false. Why is that? So I just actually discovered that when we jumped in there. So if we jump back into our, create direct channel method inside of our chart partner picker view model, we actually have this logic right up here where we're appending the selected chart partners. And I think the reason we're doing that is because, remember, when we created direct channel from our chart partner picker screen from here, let's say we want to create a direct channel with QA user 3 from this screen. Where is QA user 3? Let me look for it. Come on. Now I can't find QA user 3. But let's say, for example, QA user 3. Let's say, for example, we click on QA user 3 here. Remember, we're selecting it, right? And when we select it, we just say selected chart partners that append the chart partner that we actually want to create a direct channel with. But we know we could just let's just have a if statement here that just said if the selected chart partner that is empty, only when that is empty, that's when we want to append it. Right? Because it's only going to be empty in this situation when we're inside of our chart partner picker screen. The selected chart partner is currently empty. So it's only then that we're actually going to append the user that we want to create a direct channel with. So let's go right ahead and run our project, but I'm also going to change this var to let, this channel dictionary to let. Now let's go right ahead. Let us run our project, and that should fix our bug with our direct channels not being unique. And we're going to go ahead and rigorously test that really quickly. And I'm going to explain it one more time. So let's jump into our channel. Let's try to create another direct channel with QA user 3. So let's see. Let's try it from here. QA user 3 from here. We know it's going to be unique from here because that is working well. Awesome. It takes us back to that existing channel. Let's go out of here. Let's go back here. Let's do new group. Let's do QA user 3 from here now. Let's look for QA user 3. Let's see. Where is QA user 3? Hit next. Let's try to create it again. Let's do create. Look at that. It takes us back to that. So that's pretty awesome. We've just fixed our issue with our direct channels not being unique. However, I just noticed a bunch of bugs actually that we have not done. So when we're inside of here, this should actually have the circular profile image view. And same thing with this component here. It should have the circular profile image view. So let's go ahead and fix that pretty quickly. I'm going to jump back to our new group setup screen. And inside of our new group setup screen, I believe we have the selected chart partner view. I'm going to command and jump into that. And I think we're using a circle here. So instead of using a circle, let's go right ahead and use the circular profile image view. It's going to ask for a profile image URL, and we're just going to use user. The profile image URL, and the size here says it's 60. So let's see, medium. I think medium is 60. I'm going to come in and jump in there just to be sure. Yep, medium is 60. So we're going to use the size medium, and we no longer need to use the circle and this frame and width, and we're going to go ahead and remove that. And let us go ahead and run our project. We're now using circular profile image view. The reason I wanted to replace that really quickly is because in the next episode, we're actually going to be picking profile pictures for our, for our user profile, for our inside of our settings screen. And you're going to see what I mean. So we also need to change that as well, but we can change that in the next episode. Let's jump into QA user 3 again, and let's try to create another channel, QA channel. Let's say QA user, QA user 3, go next again. And look at that, we have that. That is awesome. If we go back, we have QA user 3 up here as well. The circular profile image view, click that next. Let's even try to name it. Let's see if it's going to create a different channel. Again, it should not. it goes back and it takes us back to the existing channel or the existing chat that we already have with QA user 3, which is awesome. That's exactly what we have. So the last bug I want us to fix really quickly is inside of our chat room view model. I'm going to jump into our chat room view model and let us go ahead and fix this bug that's related to multimedia upload. So if we, like, let's say we select a bunch of, media messages or media items and let's enter a text, it's going to append this text to all of this media messages. And that's obviously problematic because that's not really what we want in our project. And look at that. It does that. It does that. It's still uploading, I believe. And also, it doesn't clear out this text here, which that's super weird. I could have sworn we're actually doing that. And let's see what's going on. It's clearing that. It's clearing that. Does it eventually clear the text? It does not even clear the text. So let's go ahead and fix that bug pretty quickly. So inside of our chat room view model, let's see. We need to look for the message or the function that's responsible for actually, looping through each of the selected media attachments item. And I'm going to scroll all the way up here. Again, we need to actually refactor our chat room view model as well because it's going to become a very massive file. And we're going to handle that a couple of episodes from now. So this function right here is responsible for sending multiple media messages. And really what's going on here is that, we're appending each of this text to the actual upload. As you can see, send photo message, we attach the text in there. And I don't think we should do that. I think a better approach for us is to do something like, let's see, I'm going to say let, I'm actually going to change this to for, I want to know the index. I'm going to say for index and attachments in attachments. Okay. And I like the attachments in attachments in attachments. And I'm just going to use the enumerated signature. And I'm going to remove this other syntax down here, create some space, make this bad boy look nice. And I'm going to go right ahead and take all of this logic inside of our for each. I'm going to move it right into our, this new for each that has an index. And so now what do I want to do? I think I'm just going to look for a way to only pass in this text message to one of these individual ones, because remember, we're looping through it. So all I'm just going to say is I'm just going to have it attach that message to the first item. So I'm going to say let text message is equals, if the index is 0, okay, then it's going to be text. Else, if the index is not 0, let's just pass in an empty string. I'm going to go ahead and indent this, and I'm going to take this text message and I'm going to pass that in here instead of actually directly passing in the text. So let's see, this is yelling at us. I'm not really sure why. I mean, we have an index. Index is my syntax incorrect? For index and attachments in attachments dot enumerated. And again, we have our attachments up here, and it says all statements must be what? Okay, let me move it above the switch statements. Oh yeah, I think that's why. So I'm gonna move this above the switch statements, and let's see, that should work now. So now it's only one of the items that we're actually looping through is going to have the text message. So let's go right ahead and run this pretty quickly, and that should be a quick little fix for that bug that we just noticed. Also, our text messages should be clearing. I'm not really sure why that is not clearing right now, and I'm gonna go ahead and find the solution for that as well. But let's test this really quickly. Let's go in here. Let's say we select a bunch of messages again. Let's try like 3, 4, 5, 6 photos. Let's add all the text. And only one of those items should have a text message. Hit that send button, and look at that. Look at that, guys. That is awesome. So only one of them actually have the text, which is exactly what we want, which is the first item that actually have the text. Obviously, this is not really that efficient. Like if I'm putting this in production, I probably would make some slight changes in here. And I honestly might still do that towards the end of this episode. But for now, I think this is a pretty neat solution. Let us try uploading a bunch of videos and let's see what happens. The combination of videos and photos, and maybe even record a quick audio. Hello, 1, 2, 3. Hit that next. And actually, I'm going to remove one of this. Let me add another photo. Now let me have this one here done, and let's see, a text was sent. Let's hit that send button and let's see what happens. Again, only one of the items should really have a text, so only the last item has a text, and everything else does not actually have a text message, which is exactly what we want. So that's awesome. We fixed that bug. The other final bug that I want us to fix really quickly is actually related to when you record an audio message and there's a text message with it, it's actually not going to send a text message. So let's text that. 1, 2, 3, hit text. Let's put in a text, right? If you're sending a text message with your voice message, look at it. The text message is just lost in space. It's like it's lost in the void, never to be seen again. So let's fix that really quickly, guys. And the solution is let's jump into this voice message, method. And inside of our chat room view model, by the way. So the voice message does not have a text parameter. And I think all I'm just going to do now is I am just going to send a new text message whenever we're done uploading our voice message. So I'm going to scroll all the way up here. And let's see. Also, something else I want to do is I want to move this text message up. So inside of our clear text input area, I just want to move this text message up here. And I think that looks pretty good. So let's see. All I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new function that's responsible for sending text messages. So I'm just going to say private func send text message. I think that's pretty good. And that's going to use the message service send text message function. I just copied this one right here. And it's going to ask for the current user and So I'm just going to, let's see. Do I even want to create a new function for this? Sure. And I'm going to go right ahead and remove this. And I'm just going to say send text message. And I'm just going to actually unwrap the current user from here, inside of here. I'm going to wrap the current user from here, and that's the current user. And I actually don't want to pass in the direct text message. I want to pass in the text message as a parameter of this method. And so that's going to be a string. And I'm going to pass the text right here instead of the text message inside of our chat room view model. So now I'm going to fix this, fill, and I'm going to pass in the text message. But then I'm going to go ahead and use the send text message method inside of our, voice messages. So I'm going to jump back to this send voice message method. And now down here, I'm just going to say self.send text message. And what's the text message going to be? It's going to be text. But I'm going to add a guard statement here pretty quickly. I'm only going to say if text dot is not empty or white space. So if it's not empty or white space, that's the only time that I'm actually going to send a text message after this voice message. Okay, so that means if our actual voice message, like in this instance, we recorded a voice message, and I don't know what's going on. My computer is acting really slow. Oh, that's weird. Okay, let's try this again. So let's record a voice message. And so if we actually have a text inside of our text input area after recording a voice message, that's the only time that I want to call the send text message method. That's all I'm trying to do here. So let's go ahead and run this and actually verify that that is the case. And we are going to wrap it up for this episode. I know this is sort of like one giant mega episode where we're just squashing bugs, but it was just a bunch of, small tiny things here and there that I wanted us to fix. So let's jump into, for example, keyword user 3. Let us record a voice message. Howdy, what's going on? 1, 2, 3. All right, let's click stop and let us enter hello text. Hit that send button and it should send a voice message and then send a text message. That's awesome. And that's exactly what it does. Let me try it again. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Hit that stop button and let me enter a text message with that. Text is awesome voice. I'm just writing garbage. Hit that send button. And let's see what happens. Awesome. So he sends the text message after the voice message. So that's pretty much it for this episode. Again, I know there's a lot of bugs that we just fixed and it's a bunch of stuff, but I wanted us to do that. Actually, before we wrap up, there's this error right here that's saying no symbol named empty string is found. And I believe I know why that is. Let us jump into our channel item view. So I'm going to Command Shift and O, channel item view. Inside of our channel item view, we have this specific last message preview here. And right here, we are asking for icon name, but our icon name for our text is actually an empty string. So I want us to fix that. I only want to show this icon. So essentially inside of our channel tab screen, I only want to show this icon or have that, that image exist there when it's not of type text. And I think that's why that error right there is showing up. Again, I can run the app on the simulator and show you what I mean. It's going to show a bunch of errors. And I think we should just fix that pretty quickly as well. Let's jump in here. Look at that. We have no symbol name found in the system. Okay, so let's fix that. And inside of our channel item view, I'm just going to add a conditional here. I'm going to say if, let's see, channel dot last message type is not equals to .text. That's the only time we're going to show that icon. So let's command and run this and everything should be Gucci and good to go. All right, let's jump into our channel tab screen and look at that. We no longer get that error, guys. Our console looks so much more better as well. And let's jump into keyword user 3. Everything is Gucci. That's awesome, guys. Thank you for watching as always. We just fixed a bunch of bugs in our applications and I'm pretty excited. In the next episode, let us actually take a little bit of break from our channel and our chat room and let's go into our settings or our profile screen and let us have some functionalities. For example, the ability to be able to pick a profile photo and change our username and our bio. So that's going to be awesome because that's also going to add more spice to our channel tab screen because we're actually going to have profile photo for each of these channels instead of just having this default icon. Thank you for watching as always, guys. I appreciate the support. Please like and subscribe and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.